How do you know you've reached your destination if you don't know where you're going? Hey, I'm Jay Nicole, a Black romance author of 48 books, and I have a few tips I'd like to share with you. Things I've learned along my 10 years plus of writing, things I want to share with you to hopefully help you along your way, along your writing career. So, destination. What does this have to do with writing romance? Are we talking GPS here, maps, road trips? Not exactly. I'm talking about goals and identifying them. I've been a full time author for 2 years now, and I can say that I'm still fumbling my way through transitioning from a part time author to operating as a business. As an author and all the many hats I wear, the one I neglect the most is the one I hated when I was an employee. It was the one of writing my goals. I used to hate performance reviews, noting what I planned to do and how I planned to accomplish it. Most times I felt like it was an exercise in creativity. Go figure. Because I know that you give me these tasks and I have to complete them. Outside of that, what else is there to say? But for my career, for my author career that is, I'm finally looking at goals in a different light. During an interview earlier this year, the interviewer asked, "Where do you want to be in 5 years?" Me? 5 years? Oh, mic drop. He could have ended there because the question had me a little stunned. Where do I want to be in 5 years? As with anything, I found myself to an answer. I can't quite remember what I said at the time, but afterward, I took it upon myself to answer that question. I wrote down my author goals, what I want to accomplish in the next 5 years. I gave up hoping I'd just be writing full time still, because let's be honest, when I became a full time author, I had kind of accomplished my goal. I was writing full time. But now what? So I put some measurable goals in place, wrote them down, and check in with them occasionally to see where I'm stacking up. Recently, as I started preparing for 2024, I dug a little deeper. I broke those goals down into smaller ones, milestones, I suppose you could call them. I'm sure when I was in my full-time job, they had some type of format and things that they would call those. Can't quite remember what they're called. But essentially, it's what I aim to do in the next year, not in 5 years, because yeah, 5 years is nice, but how am I going to get there? So now I have guidance on how to get to my final destination because I've broken that overall 5 year goal down into small, achievable things that I can accomplish in the next year after year, leading up to those 5 years. So no, I'm not talking about a GPS, a map, but I am talking about getting somewhere, needing a little guidance along the way. As an author, when is the last time you visited your author goals? How often do you sit down and determine your big goals, then break those down into smaller ones? If you haven't done this exercise, I created a template, something you can grab from my website, and I'll drop the link in the description below. In this template, it'll help you break down your 2024 goals to start thinking through topics that will help you put steps into action. It's like for writing, marketing, finance, and even some self-care goals, because that's important too. I think there's other topics, but in the link you'll find all the details. So no matter how far you've come, or if you aren't where you want to be yet, there's time for you to get there. 2024 is around the corner, or if you happen to be watching this in a year beyond 2024, hello to the future you. The next year is coming. If you want January of that year to produce what you need for that year to be a record year for you, you have to start planning now. You can't wait until that next year starts to say, oh, let me sit down and think of my goals, because you'll already have time wasted. So don't let the year pass you by without looking at your goals. Start them now so that when you kick off the first day of the new year, you'll be ready to accomplish those goals. I really hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thank you for watching.